Hello, I'm Dr. Shawn Thistle, CEO and founder of RRS Education. Thank you so much for joining me for this brand new e-seminar called Older and Bolder, Chiropractic Care for Healthy Aging. This is a program that's been years in the making, and this has been by far our most highly requested topic from seminar attendees in the past 9 or 10 years. I'm really proud of this program, and it's a lot of work to put these together, constantly scanning the literature, reading, and looking for resources to place in the right context in a broad topic like this. I really hope you enjoy the program. Be sure you open each component of the program in the order that it's presented, but once you're through it, you can go back through the videos at your leisure. You can complete this course at your own pace, and our system will remember your progress if you have to log out or come back to it another day. If you encounter any technical issues along the way in this program, please email us at support@rrseducation.com. If you have any questions for me along the way, you can always reach me at shawn@rrseducation.com. Before we get started, if you don't already, please take a moment to follow us on social media at RRS Education. This is where I post a lot of different links to research papers that I'm reading, upcoming courses, and different information about the products, online courses, and e-seminars that we offer through the company. You can always reach out to me on all of those platforms as well. So why are we here? Why are we doing a course about aging? Let me start for a moment and refresh your memory about how I like to approach my content creation at RRS Education. Everything I do is derived from the open-minded integration of current best evidence and other related research, common sense, real clinical experience, and patient-centered values. The goal that I have for myself and my company is to enhance and improve our cultural authority as a profession and our knowledge about the happenings in the healthcare space and clinical scientific research as well. I also do it with the intent of constantly promoting evidence-based patient care that is effective, rational, reasonable, and sustainable. Navigating the chiropractic space from a scientific perspective is challenging. We're a relatively young profession, and our research capacity has just recently, in the history of our profession, come to a critical level where we're often generating much of our own literature these days, which is a really big step from when I started the company 15 years ago. Practicing as an evidence-informed clinician is a really challenging thing that involves the integration of relevant evidence, which means you have to actually know what kind of evidence is out there and how it can fit into your patient care. And that has to be skillfully combined with your clinical experience as a practitioner and the values and needs and individual circumstances of the patient in front of you. You have to put all of this together in their context as an individual in your office. That's something that I've always aimed to help with through everything that I do in this company, and I recognize that staying current on emerging evidence is a real challenge. In the year that we're filming this course, I will have published my 1,000th research review, meaning we've summarized and helped clinicians integrate the findings of 1,000 research papers since I launched the company in 2006. In most medical specialties, keeping current on all of the relevant literature in your profession would take you hours a day. So I hope I've been able to help to some degree, and as you'll see in this course, I've integrated a lot of different aspects of the research literature into what I hope is a good, comprehensive, entertaining program on healthy aging. Before we get into the individual sections that we're going to cover throughout this e-seminar, I wanted to get rid of one small elephant in the room. That is aging versus aging. There are two spellings of this word. One is North American and one is British. You may see it in various forms throughout the course, so I just wanted to make sure no one gets too upset by that as we go forward. They both mean the same thing. Now on to our course outline. This is what we're going to cover in this 8-hour program. We'll start with a section on healthy aging, with relevant discussion of the current global focus on healthy aging as a primary public health initiative. This provides huge opportunity for chiropractors that I hope to elucidate for you throughout the course of this program. The second section deals with specific clinical considerations for dealing with aging patients in a chiropractic practice. As you're probably aware, they do represent and offer some unique clinical challenges that we should be mindful of when dealing with this patient population, that, as I'll show you in a few moments, will surely be filling most of our offices for years to come. Then we'll move on in Section 3 to the chiropractic literature and landscape in caring for elderly people. We'll deal with what we know about spine pain in the elderly and how chiropractic can be of clinical assistance, and maybe how we can be of greater assistance in the healthcare system in general. Sections 4, 5, and 6 will move into condition-specific reviews that go along quite well with this program content, starting with the big one, which is osteoarthritis. This is a topic I've covered in in-person seminars before, but that section's been totally done from the beginning again and revamped for this program. Second, we'll deal with another common condition that you'll surely see in your offices going forward, lumbar spinal stenosis. As our patient population ages globally, this is something that will surely be more common in your office as well. I've also decided to add a short section on a not so common but very important condition, cervical spondylotic myelopathy. It can present in younger people sometimes, but it's something that often presents in our older patients, and it is a condition you want to be mindful of and not forget about. Here are our learning objectives for Older and Bolder, chiropractic care for healthy aging. First, we're going to explore relevant concepts of healthy aging. We're also going to examine our unique clinical opportunities and challenges relating to providing chiropractic care for older patients. We'll then move on to summarize and critique the existing body of research on chiropractic care for spinal conditions in older patients, just to update us on where we stand and where we need to go. Fourth, we'll outline our current state of knowledge on the pathophysiology, diagnosis, and clinical management of two other common conditions seen in older patients, osteoarthritis and spinal stenosis. Then we'll briefly review cervical spondylotic myelopathy, and an overarching learning objective for this program that I was very mindful of as I created this course was to help you integrate current evidence into rational, effective, patient-centered diagnosis and treatment for older patients. I wanted to take a few minutes to explain to you my approach when putting together Older and Bolder. First, I wanted to help you as a clinician foster your own positive attitude toward aging and helping other patients. Aging is an inevitability for all of us, and as a practicing chiropractor, you're surely going to see more older patients and aging patients in the years to come. I also wanted to explore the clinical complexity of older patients and focus on their experiences with healthcare. There's a lot of emerging data now telling us about how they feel about their own healthcare experience, and there are valuable lessons in there for us as chiropractors. I also wanted to incorporate relevant, recent evidence pertaining to all aspects of the healthcare encounter. A focus on patient care, if you will, rather than just what the evidence-based treatment is. And don't get me wrong, we're going to go through what the evidence does recommend from a treatment perspective, but I wanted to encapsulate the entire healthcare experience to help us provide better, holistic care for our aging patients. Finally, I wanted to focus on the most common conditions and relevant aspects of chiropractic encounters with aging patients. The conditions that we're going to cover primarily are osteoarthritis and lumbar spinal stenosis, which will become two of the most common conditions you see in that age range. As I said a moment ago, this course has been years in the making, amalgamating literature and resources to put together in a comprehensive manner to help us better our ability to help this patient population. I know dealing with older patients is a bit of a comfort zone issue for some people, and I hope that this course helps us expand our role with this very important population in the healthcare system, because we can have a massive impact both clinically and for their personal lives to help them stay functional and active, free of pain, and just to help them live their best life from a quality of life perspective. Our role can be critical for this aging population. Before we get started, I wanted to show you a short video of a TED Talk presented in June 2016 by Monica Menacini. I think it's very relevant to what we're going to deal with, particularly in the first section of this course, so I hope you enjoy it.
In 1997, a French woman named Jeanne Calment passed away after 122 years and 164 days on this earth, making her the oldest known person in history. Her age was so astounding that a millionaire pledged $1 million to anyone who could break her record. But in reality, living to this age or beyond is a feat that very few, maybe even no humans, are likely to accomplish. Human bodies just aren't built for extreme aging. Our capacity is set at about 90 years. But what does aging really mean? And how does it counteract the body's efforts to stay alive? We know intuitively what it means to age. For some, it means growing up, while for others, it's growing old. Yet finding a strict scientific definition of aging is a challenge. What we can say is that aging occurs when intrinsic processes and interactions with the environment, like sunlight and toxins in the air, water, and our diets, cause changes in the structure and function of the body's molecules and cells. Those changes in turn drive their decline and subsequently the failure of the whole organism. The exact mechanisms of aging are poorly understood, but recently scientists have identified 9 physiological traits, ranging from genetic changes to alterations in a cell's regenerative ability, that play a central role. Firstly, as the years pass, our bodies accumulate genetic damage in the form of DNA lesions. These occur naturally when the body's DNA replicates, but also in non-dividing cells. Organelles called mitochondria are especially prone to this damage. Mitochondria produce adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, the main energy source for all cellular processes. Plus, mitochondria regulate many different cell activities and play an important role in programmed cell death. If mitochondrial function declines, then cells, and later on whole organs, deteriorate too. Other changes are known to occur in the expression patterns of genes, also known as epigenetic alterations, that affect the body's tissues and cells. Genes silenced or expressed only at low levels in newborns become prominent in older people, leading to the development of degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, which accelerate aging. Even if we could avoid all these harmful genetic alterations, not even our own cells could save us. The fact remains that cellular regeneration, the very stuff of life, declines as we age. The DNA in our cells is packaged within chromosomes, each of which has 2 protective regions at the extremities called telomeres. Those shorten every time cells replicate. When telomeres become too short, cells stop replicating and die, slowing the body's ability to renew itself. With age, cells increasingly grow senescent too, a process that halts the cell cycle in times of risk, like when cancer cells are proliferating. But the response also kicks in more as we age, halting cell growth and cutting short their ability to replicate. Aging also involves stem cells that reside in many tissues and have the property of dividing without limits to replenish other cells. As we get older, stem cells decrease in number and tend to lose their regenerative potential, affecting tissue renewal and maintenance of our organs' original functions. Other changes revolve around cells' ability to function properly. As they age, they stop being able to do quality control on proteins, causing the accumulation of damaged and potentially toxic nutrients, leading to excessive metabolic activity that could be fatal for them. Intercellular communication also slows, ultimately undermining the body's functional ability. There's a lot we don't yet understand about aging. Ultimately, does longer life as we know it come down to diet, exercise, medicine, or something else? Will future technologies like cell-repairing nanobots or gene therapy artificially extend our years? And do we want to live longer than we already do? Starting with 122 years as inspiration, there's no telling where our curiosity might take us.
As I said, I think that was a relevant introduction to the concept of aging. Before we move on to section 1, I want to remind you of a couple of things. All of the scientific papers and publications referenced in this e-seminar are listed in the references document that's included with this program. Further, there are a few acronyms in my slides, and most of you who have done my programs before are used to that. But based on customer feedback from prior programs, I've now included an acronym legend for you that's also included with this course for your reference. I hope you enjoy Older and Bolder Chiropractic Care for Healthy Aging, and now we'll get into Section 1.